to a new episode of my fat loss journey, and I thought I'd take you with me here on this walk today. This is actually going to be the last time I'm walking this walk here, or this path, because I'm currently at my parents' house and they moving very soon, actually in next month, and then that means we won't live here anymore, or they won't live here anymore, and that feels a bit sad and a bit strange, but it also feels good. I think it is really good for them to move.
Just where it was needed, gleaming black as night, cloistered in injustice, dead.
I thought I'd take you a bit with me, talking about how I'm doing and what I'm working on at the moment. And yeah, so let's get walking. I would say I have worked a lot the past year on my nutrition. I increased my fruit and veggie intake. I decreased intake of soda, chips, and also sweets now, and also decreased intake of meat. So I've started to have more and more vegetables and making vegetarian meals, and now I'm at a point where I feel like nutrition is definitely good enough. In Balance 365 we have 4 core values. One is balanced meals, one is sleep, one is movement, and one is internal cues. And I would say sleep and movement have been getting so much better. I'm pretty consistent in going to bed on time, sleeping well, and also moving quite consistently. So I knew that I have to work on the internal cues part. For them it's mostly eating when you're hungry and stop when you're full. And yeah, I started in January with putting my calorie down after each bite, and that has worked really well, and it has already worked in ways where I felt like I definitely slowed down my eating, but I still felt a bit like I couldn't manage to stop eating when I was satisfied. So that was still something I felt like, okay, we have to work on that. But there was kind of like an anxiety, and I definitely feel that still. It's a bit like scarcity mindset, feeling like you're missing out if you don't eat something now, and eating all of it.
Faces merge and change, but your face remains the same. The swallows will be here by the door.
And I just knew, okay, we're gonna have to work on internal cues, eating when you're hungry, stop when you're satisfied. And there was also something I listened to, or I watched a YouTube video from Coach Viva. She's a weight loss coach. She has lost, I think, 20 pounds herself. And I remember she said, oh, you don't actually have to change everything in your life. You just have to create like a 10 or 15% calorie deficit, and that like intermittent fasting, Weight Watchers, keto, all of these things, even if you don't count calories, they make you creating a calorie deficit. And I just could feel it in my body. I was like, I'm so done with counting calories. I'm so done with any kind of diet or program. We're not gonna do that, which means I have to listen to my body. There is no walk around that.
They'll be gone. The trees will bloom and ice will melt. We'll always remember how it felt.
And then on Wednesday in the night, I woke up, didn't really know why. It was 3 a.m. in the morning, and I realized, oh, I got my period, and my body was so kind to wake me up before we get a mess in the bed. And there was just something about sitting in your bathroom at 3 a.m. in the morning and thinking, my body is so kind waking me up. And I'm just so mean to my body by not eating when I'm hungry, but just eating whenever it fits, like time-wise. And I overeat on many meals, eating more than my body really needs. I'm kind of like ignored my satiety cues, and I feel like there is so much to grow from, and there's so much wisdom in my body who can tell me when I have to stop eating and when it has enough. And this is my next challenge. That was my thought, and I also thought, like, now it's enough. We have to listen to my body.
A significant life, just what it was needed. Clean in the blackest night, cloistered in injustice there.
The first days were pretty chaotic because yeah, it was quite tricky. When I had breakfast, I ate probably just half of it, and then I was also thinking, okay, if I don't eat that much, what should I be eating first? Maybe first the protein, or more carbs, or more fruit and veggies. And then obviously when I was full faster, I was also hungry faster again, which threw off all my eating schedule that I'm used to. And I also practiced eating and slowing down and really eating it mindfully, which was a very interesting experience. So the first days were really, yeah, I really didn't know what to do. Now I feel it already starts to change. Currently I'm eating like 5 to 7 meals a day, so that's very different to before, where I really tried to eat only 3 meals a day. So that's something I still kind of like try to wrap my head around it, because I feel like, oh, this is so inconvenient, and what if I want to eat with other people? But it's working out quite fine. And the only thing is, when I'm leaving the house, I should have some food on hand. I always have some nuts, and maybe I'm taking with me a banana or an apple, and that usually keeps me full again for another 2 hours. And it's just something I have to get used to.
Nobody's losing. The sparrows will be here by dawn.
I also do see that it has already started resulting in weight loss. I almost lost 1 kilogram in this week here, and that is very impressive. I just kind of like weighed myself every day to just see, is there anything happening? But I definitely see I eat less. So tomorrow I'm leaving and flying back home to Norway, and I will take my mindful eating with me. I feel more equipped. We'll just have to see how it's going. It is a bit different because, I mean, if you do calorie counting, it feels a bit like you have more control, and now I really have to let my body decide when it's releasing its fat and when it's satisfied, and I just have to honor it and its cues. And that's still a journey. It will take time. I definitely feel kind of like back into my intuitive eating trials. The difference is that food itself has become a bit less interesting, definitely, and it's a bit more, there's less food noise. I definitely can feel that. There are also less cravings, especially since I stopped buying sweets at the grocery store. Making my own, having a cake, for example. Oh, I actually have cake from my grandma. I just realized I could eat today. You know, I even forget about that. And that is very new for me, very exciting to see that food has kind of like lost a bit of its magic or power as well. And I think I needed that. I really like to compare it to going to the bathroom, because you don't think about like, oh, today I peed too much, or I already peed an hour ago and I can't pee again, it can't be possible. Nothing like that. You just, you don't question it, you don't have any rules around it, how much you can pee or in what frequency, or don't pee after 8 p.m. or whatever that. You just don't have that. You just go when you need to. And sometimes you also practice self-care when you're going on a road trip, that you go to the bathroom once more, and that's kind of the same as fueling up a little bit before a workout or before you're going somewhere and where you know you can't eat for a while, but it feels so natural. And I really want my relationship to food to be this way. I've tried intuitive eating so many times, and probably 5 times. Here on camera on the YouTube channel, probably twice. And it really feels possible now. It really does. And that is super exciting, but also a bit scary, because I'm so used to trying to control it, working on it, improving it, and letting that go. Yeah, feels strange. For example, I usually always listen to a podcast when I'm walking here, for example. I always have something to trying to solve a problem with, listening to a certain podcast, and now it's more like turning inward, learning to trust my own cues, and that feels, it feels very scary, because you're letting something go that is so natural and familiar for you. And it fits just so perfect that my parents are moving, that I have to go through a lot of things, had to throw away a lot of things, also going through old memories and pictures and all of that. And that is a process of letting go, treasuring certain things, but also knowing there's a new chapter waiting. There's a lot of exciting things happening and coming your way, and feeling excited for that. I definitely feel that as well. And
The trees will bloom and ice will melt. We'll always remember how it felt.
I know I want to fill a void, but I also know that I will be okay, and there is a time of transition, and I'm happy you're joining me again on this journey, because I obviously will document it here on my channel. So I guess I'm going home now, and thank you for joining me on this way, and I hope you get something out of this walk and talk, and I see you very soon. Have a wonderful Sunday. Bye bye.